recently had a conversation with a fellow solopreneur who's actually in the infant stages of her business. And so she was sharing with me that she was a little anxious about delegating tasks and, you know, just being able to hand over things that she knew that perhaps she shouldn't be working on. And so she asked me, she said, so she was okay with delegating tasks like bookkeeping and taxes and things like that. But she had a hard time with the other tasks and was afraid that those things would not be done in the same way that she does them. And so that's a very, very familiar um, thing that we struggle with as entrepreneurs. We're afraid sometimes that it's not going to be done the same way that we do things, right? And so my recommendation to her was number one is that she take it really, really slow. And not only that, that's a very common thought that we have as entrepreneurs. We always think that, okay, if I do it, it's not going to be done the way if I hand it over, it's not going to be done in a way that I do it, right? So my recommendation again was to just take it slow and start by listing all the tasks that she's currently doing and feeling overwhelmed with, and then to also just take a look at maybe five of those tasks that she's feeling overwhelmed with, right? And here's the thing to kind of address the most common thing that we seem to be challenged with as entrepreneurs, as solopreneurs, when it comes to delegating, and we feel like it's not going to be done in the same way that I do it. So the important thing to do is to start by documenting all of those tasks that you're doing and every task, every step of those tasks, so that when you're ready to delegate those things, little by little, you can start delegating because now you have everything documented. And that way, that's going to help you to um, be ensured, rather, that the outcome is going to be what you're looking for, right? Now, it's also important to note that early on in your business, you're not going to know all the things that you need to delegate because it's in the early stages. But on the other side of that, the flip side of that is that it's a good idea to start early. It's a great idea actually to start early in your business because you're laying the groundwork. So hopefully that makes sense, because whether you're just starting out or you're looking to scale and streamline your systems and processes, all of these things are essential to establishing a good foundation for your business. So hopefully that makes sense before we get into the next episode. And by the way, if you are a coach or a consultant or service provider, like a virtual assistant, or maybe you're a professional organizer, maybe you have some questions that you want me to answer, or your challenge that you're having, and you'd like for me to perhaps answer them. Because I've been in business for more than 20 years. And I learned a lot. And so I want to help you to avoid some of those pitfalls. So if you have any questions you want me to answer, leave me a private voice message, and I'll put that link in the show notes so that you can just, while you're listening and you think, okay, I have a question I want to ask, you can just click on that link and then leave me a message, and I'll be sure to answer it on the show. So, hopefully, this serves you well. You're ready? Let's welcome to the Organizedpreneur Podcast, the ultimate podcast for female entrepreneurs looking to supercharge their business. I'm Aldreama Harper, host of the Organizepreneur podcast. I'm also a business organizing strategist and coach, where I specialize in helping solopreneurs, freelance professionals, and service-based providers. This is to ignite, build, and transform your business dreams into reality. If you're feeling overwhelmed, struggling to manage clients and tasks, and worried about things slipping through the cracks, you're in the right place. With my signature framework, not only are you able to get your time back and get on track, but also turn your passion and hard work into a sustainable and profitable venture. It's time to organize and prioritize those functions. So depending on, the size of your business, maybe you're just, kind of starting out, or maybe you are well into your business, a few years, and you're just at the point where you think, okay, now I need to start thinking about, how am I going to, scale? How am I going to simplify and streamline, my business? So depending on the size of your business, you might be able to combine some of those tasks into a single general category, right? So it may be that accounting and, accounting and bookkeeping, they would pretty much, kind of be the same, but you may, there may be some administrative tasks and some bookkeeping tasks that can be combined into a general category or into a single category, and it may be something that you can delegate or outsource. Okay, so that's what I mean by organize and prioritize the function. Okay, it's also important to remember that you can always split the categories later. So even if you combine them early on, later as it becomes necessary, you may want to split. Maybe you need an accountant, but you may not need a bookkeeper because you have something in place for bookkeeping, for the bookkeeping tasks, right? So hope that makes sense. All right, let's continue on. So here are a few examples that you can prioritize of how you can prioritize your essential functions. Okay, here we go. Ready? Let's say product development. So you have a product. As a coach, you should have a product. Maybe you have a book. Maybe you have, something you've product size. And I don't think I said that right, but you're coaching into a course. Okay, product development. Okay, so before you can start a business, you need to have a core product or a core service that you can offer to potential customers, right? This makes product development one of the most critical functions in your business, and it should be placed at the top of your priority list, okay? We're talking about organizing and prioritizing the functions, okay? So product development would be at the top of your list. Now, administration and accounting is not at the top of your list, right? Because you don't get paid for administration and accounting unless you are an accountant or a VA that does administration, administrative support or something, right? So, but you have a product. Secondly, you need to figure out how to administer this. And administration, remember we said you can always split the category later, but you can put it into a general category. So for small businesses, combining the administration and accounting functions makes sense, right? You can hire a single office manager. So if you have, and this could be virtually, you can have an OBM, which that those are services that I also provide, but you can have an OBM, which is an online business manager, to handle some of the functions or oversee your business, right? Or a VA who can take care of the day-to-day clerical tasks, right? As well as posting credits and debits to the books. As your company expands, you can split these two functions into separate teams. You'll probably want to do that, right? And before you start selling your product or services, these are two areas of your business that must be structured and in place.
So first, you do need a product or a service, right? But then administration and accounting, in terms of priority, is second, right? All right.
Listening and subscribing to the podcast, simply go to organizedpreneurpodcast.com. And also check out the freebies available, including a free training at theorganizedpreneur.com. So you ready? Let's go.